In this tutorial, we're going to cover media attributes in your lifescienceweb.com account for all the media items that you have uploaded onto the server. Begin by logging in on the lifescienceweb.com website. And you will navigate to the Media Attributes tab. For each media item that's in your lifescienceweb.com account, you can assign attributes such as scheduling for when you want that media item to be allowed to run, what days of the week and what time of day, so forth and so forth. And then also demographic attributes for who best fits that particular media. Now, the demographic attributes really only applies to those who have smart signs, that is, signs who detect who's in proximity around them and knowing what their preferences are based on what they have established in their preferences account can then automatically schedule up the most meaningful media items based on their preferences. That is that those who have registered their cell phones with us, when they approach a LifeSigns screen, then the screen will adapt itself to their particular preferences. And in order for us to adapt the screen, we have to be able to say what media items would fit what preferences that people might have entered in their particular preferences profile. So we'll get into the demographic attributes in a little bit, but let's begin by talking about timeline. For each media item that we have in our account, we can, although we don't have to, we can assign a specific timeline that we want to allow that to be able to run in. And so here I have let me preview that. Yeah, we just have a restaurant ad for Applebee's. And what we're going to do is we're going to say we want that to run at specific times. Now, so I've selected that particular media item. And if we look here, I can see that all the media items in my library are in this list. So we come here and we choose that media item that we're going to set up its timeline for. We click on Run Specific Times, and then we select a timeline. Now, it could be that there isn't a timeline for that, and I'll get to that in just a second. But in this case, let's say we want this to apply to lunch 5 days a week. So I'll come up here, I'll select Run Specific Times, then I'll select the timeline, and I'll go lunch 5 days. Now, once I've said associated the timeline with this particular media item, I need to make sure that I update settings for that media item so that they'll stick. Once I've done that, then those media items will only run during those particular times of day that we've allowed. Now let's look at what those times of day are. Here I have again this timeline details file selected, and I'm going to edit that and take a look at it. Now it's important again that you have pop-ups enabled or you won't see this. So if you're not seeing this when you click on edit, select the timeline details file, then you probably don't have pop-ups enabled for your browser for lifescienceweb.com. So you need to make sure you do that. All right, now we can see, okay, so this guy is going to run from, looks like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. And so these will be the times that any media item that's associated with this particular timeline will only be allowed to run during these times. So if I don't have one that fits my particular media item, I can create one. So let's do that right now. And let's just create one, and we'll just call it tutorial for now. And we'll call it breakfast weekends. Okay. This is my new timeline. It got created, but it's empty. So what I'm going to do is I'll say, okay, let's have this thing run on Sunday morning from, let's say, 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay? So we get on the time of the day of the particular day in the week that we want. We hover in this bar to the start time, and then press your left mouse button and that'll hold it down. Let me do this again. Okay, so I've gone to 5 a.m. Now I left click and begin to drag, holding the mouse down until I get to 11 a.m. and then I let go. As soon as I do, it says add or cancel. If I hit add, then that becomes part of this timeline. And then let's go to Saturday, 5 a.m. to 11, add. So now on Sunday and Saturday and Sunday, I have these particular times. I'm going to save that. You can see that it's saved on the server. Should close it. All right. So here's what. Now I have associated, well, I didn't associate it, even though it looks associated, I still have to click update settings for the media item. So I've done that now. And if I go to a different media item and then I come back to that particular one, you'll see that it's breakfast, weekends, run at specific times, and that's how we deal with timelines. To delete a timeline, you just come in and say delete the selected timeline schedule, which is tutorial breakfast weekends. Say yes, okay, I want to delete that one, and it's gone. So it is no longer associated with this particular media item. So now, and I'm going to go run that anytime so I don't mess that up. Okay. Again, any changes that you make sure you hit update so that it sticks with respect to that media item. Now, regarding demographic attributes, that would be for those people who have the Smart Sign software and hardware in their facilities. For each media item, we need to create associations with and characterize the media item and say, does this apply to male? Does this apply to female? Does it have anything to do with sports, shopping, dining? In this case, you can see this one is associated with dining, casual, and that's pretty much it. Now, what'll happen is if in the profile for the person who walks up to the sign, they have dining, casual selected, then this media item will be considered in building the automated schedule of items that are going to display for that person on that sign, for display. If there's a very strong match or correlation between the person who's in front of the sign and the particular media item, the person's profile and the media item, how it's characterized, then it'll get into the automated schedule, and that person is going to see it. And the stronger the match, the sooner they'll see it. So the more matches there are between the person's profile and the media item, how it's characterized, the sooner on that screen they're going to encounter that particular piece of media. And so it's important. And again, anytime we come into a particular piece of media and we're going to start to characterize that media item, it won't characterize anything until we update the settings. So as you evaluate your media items, I'm going to come here and I'll pick this one, Marie France, for example, and let me preview that. Okay, so this is women's apparel. And I can come down here and it's female, shopping, clothes. And this is where we're going to get a strong relationship or correlation between the woman who walks up and has these things checked in her profile. It's going to create a very strong relationship, and then she's very likely to see this on the screen that's in front of her. And again, anytime you make a change, make sure you hit update settings, and that's it.